Welcome everyone to the first episode of the Boss Key podcast.
Welcome.
That's Jesse, co-host of the Boss Key podcast. My name's Josh. You may know me on Twitter as McQuack306. And this is Jesse on the other side of the mic. Jesse, you want to let everyone know who you are and what you are all about?
Hi, everybody. My name is Jesse Fergoso. My Twitter handle is jesse.fergoso. I am currently a registered dietitian by trade, but I have been a gamer all my life since a little kid. Since I got my first ever console, which was an Atari 2600, but I was too young to remember how to use a lot of those games. So my first initial ones were officially the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis, and I have been following along the trends ever since. We're doing this podcast together because this is just something that we wanted to share our stories with everybody in regards to our gaming lives, gaming life today, because gaming is such a beautiful thing, in my opinion. It's something that brings us together. It's something that helps us out. It's something that we can do for enjoyment. We can do it for finances, especially in today's time with the availability of the internet. But I'm just so happy to see how big it has grown itself. And that's one of the best parts about gaming today. It's more mainstream. A lot of some of my favorite consoles myself currently would be the Nintendo 64 is my bad boy, my best console ever in my life as a kid. I've had many consoles separating from various companies. I never stayed with one particular company. Currently, I have a PC with a lot of Steam games going on right now. PlayStation 4 and the Switch. And right now, the most amazing game that I have recently played is the Doom Eternal. Has been my favorite game so far that came out from 2020, which helped me a lot during the pandemic. But I definitely squeeze in time for gaming whenever it is. The music, the atmosphere, and the challenges and everything that goes on is just some of the best aspects of gaming. And a lot of people I know would understand me. And that's why we wanted to do this podcast. We wanted to share that information or those stories with everyone and have our opinions on what's going on today in gaming as well. Josh, why don't you take it away, introduce a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So I've been playing games for the longest since I could remember, since I could pick up a controller pretty much. And I haven't been really associated with anything in terms of a specific platform. I grew up with Nintendo, Sega Genesis, then PlayStation. When I first played Metal Gear Solid 1, I was about 9 years old, and I beat it. And I just was amazed that I could get this level of quality, like a movie feel to it, in a video game. And that title really pushed it to another, I guess, area for me where I'm like, okay, these aren't just like, here's an enemy, here's a bad guy, kill it, and that's it. Now these guys actually had, a story to them. They had reasons, and sometimes you were kind of like, oh, maybe he has a point. Maybe he's going somewhere with this. And it wasn't just straight black and white, shoot the enemy and that's it. And that's where I really started branching out into other genres. So PlayStation, eventually got an Xbox, loved Halo since the very first
good.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought it was gonna be, GoldenEye 007 on N64 was gonna be like the pinnacle of like, okay, nobody can beat this first person shooter. And then Halo comes along and it pretty much revolutionizes everything, from couch co-op, couch multiplayer, and even online multiplayer. So I've just been everywhere. Currently, I'm on PS5, Xbox Series X, Switch. I have a PC, but I really don't dabble in PC. That's probably going to be my weak point. But currently, at this point, I'm playing through again Metal Gear Solid 5. It's still good. That game's 6 years old, and it's still too good. And I have my fiance on my side, and she's looking. She's like, "Why is she's practically naked? She just has a bathing suit on. What is this?" And that's that crazy stuff. That crazy stuff that gaming is about. Everything's again not just black and white. There could be crazy reasons why, but that's what I loved about this medium. That movies, books, music, anything else it can't do. It's that interactive. You can be in that world and interact with everything, and you make it how you want it. And just like how you said, Jesse, this is something we both wanted to do, wanted to give out. We constantly can talk online with a discourse and stuff like that, but to be able to freely express yourself and just talk it out, have a conversation, that's what Boss Key Podcast will be about. Just what's going on today, what did we do, years ago, how things were different, what can change, or how do we see the gaming industry changing, and just two guys' opinion on the gaming landscape and how it's going. So, welcome. We want to welcome you guys all to the first episode, and hopefully many, many more episodes to go from here.
Absolutely. I'm very. What you don't see me on the other side, everybody, is you see a big smile going on, talking about gaming at all this time. And when you're talking about your stories about Metal Gear Solid, and you have to do something different, like whoa! So you don't just go up to the guy and you just, or the moment you go out to the guy and you hear that alarm, you get the heartburn, like the heart attack comes in, and you're all like. It's going really loud, and you're so unarmed, and you're so doomed if you go out there. This the classic games right there.
Just you and a trank gun.
My god, especially Metal Gear 2 on that one. You and a trank gun, and that's all you can do. And then you want to go with them one-on-one? Okay, you can try, but it ain't gonna end very well. It's gonna suck. But man, the new stories that you're talking about the game. Oh, when you just mentioned Halo and the LAN parties back then with a group of 8, it was like 8, 10, whatever in the house, pre-internet, LAN parties. People would be in one room with one TV, 4 screens. People would be in another room. 4 TVs, four-way split screen, 4 people in there, and pizza night and Mountain Dew night. Oh my god, such good times. And just yelling from across the room, I'm yelling across the room.
In high school, I had a LAN party of like 4 TVs and 4 Xboxes with it was like 12 of us, 12, 13, I forgot how many we were in like a pretty big living room. And a friend of ours, their dad walks in looking kind of crazy, like what is going on. It looked like a lab, like he just stumbled upon we're doing something illegally. And all we could say was like, well, we have the lights off, we're trying to save electricity, trying to save on the electric bill, so we have the lights off. But he sees like 4 full-blown CRT TVs on with, I don't know how many chairs, how many bodies. It's probably hot in there too, just on how it was. But that was Halo. That was Halo. Early days, 2000s, and yeah, getting a bunch of buddies, maybe getting some pizza, everybody pitching in for pizza, drinks, and just having rounds after rounds and memories about.
Dude, those used to go all night back then. Those used to go forever.
Yeah, there was a moment, I forgot which map it was. It was the one with the beach and some.
Which Halo is this one that you remember?
I think this was Halo 2. there was fans going around. I forgot the map, the name of the map, but basically we jumped on the warthogs, and we were like, all right, to the beach. You know, we saw some enemies there. We were like, to the beach, and we got on the Humvee, or on the warthog, and one of our friends, dude, jumps from the top down with the hammer and just blows up the warthog and takes out 3 of us. And we're like, no way! That was like a 3 kill. Like, we just could not believe. But we were laughing about it because it was Halo. It was just like, you know, those random moments that stick with us. Is why we love Halo and that community, and why I'm also excited for Infinite on what to do, on what's gonna happen, all the possibilities on it.
Oh my gosh, Infinite! I will actually seriously 1000% gotta get me that Xbox Series X. I just got to. But right now it's so hard to get a new console somewhere. It's been proven tough. But for Halo Infinite, I mean, I will play it on the PC for now, but of course the Series X is probably going to be where it's at the best too. So I'm also very excited after the last E3 showing what it could do, and then also showing that they're offering the online free-to-play version for multiplayer.
Yeah, that's going to make it huge, even bigger than before, just because of the accessibility. Anybody can play it. PC,
yeah,
Xbox One, Xbox Series X, any Xbox pretty much from 2013 will be able to play it, and that has high hopes for me. I really do hope. I know Halo was big, and that's the thing. It was big. You know, Halo 5 had a misstep, a huge misstep in the campaign, and although many people can be like, well, it's campaign. Like, you play Halo 4 multiplayer. Yeah, true, but...
Well,
true,
not always.
Not always, though. But the Halo campaign is, I feel like, as iconic as the multiplayer. That I've seen it that way. I mean, a lot of people will always be like, well, it's just you finish the campaign and you're good. Like, it's like, no, like, you gotta have a solid campaign as well, but also a solid multiplayer. You gotta have that balance of just everything good. And for me personally, I felt the last time we had a really good campaign and multiplayer that both were solid was Reach. That for me, Reach was my favorite Halo for the longest, just because of that campaign. You get to create your own Spartan and customize it, and what I loved about it is that whatever you customized, it showed off in the cutscenes. I really loved that aspect of it.
Oh, but that's good.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite campaigns, but also the multiplayer was really good. I know a lot of people don't like the armor lock. That one was pretty annoying, or jetpack, stuff like that, but at least for the multiplayer it was solid. Halo 4, I really liked the campaign. But not so much the multiplayer. But Halo 5 was the opposite. The campaign was pretty bad, but the multiplayer was on point.
The thing that I don't like about what they did with 5 was they preached so much that it was going to be like a lot of Master Chief, at least like ads and everything.
Yeah.
And then they flip the script on you and make it more about Locke. And I'm like, don't do that. That's at least what I'm thinking in my head. Like, don't do that. That was just the thing. And with Halo 5, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe from the get-go, Halo 5 did not have split screen multiplayer. Did they ever patch that back in, or did it always stay like that?
I don't know. I do know that it didn't have co-op. Like, it didn't have couch co-op, or it was like the first one to not have couch co-op, something like that.
Yeah.
And it was like, why? Why would you guys remove that?
That was the worst. I feel the worst mistake there, because how you just gave your stories about how Halo 4, Halo 3, everyone, there's a couch co-op. What if you and me want to go play? We want to go play Legendary status. We want to play. We want to play Legendary difficulty, and oh no, I'm sorry, you can't play it with me here. You have to go home. you have to go home and play it online, or you have to have another Xbox already. So, like, taking off local multiplayer, oh my god, that was an irksome thing. That's not good.
They said it was because they saw the stats and people weren't really using co-op. They weren't really using split screen, but I didn't buy that. I'm like that's been with the series for since the first one, right?
Yeah, like
So
that started from the get go. So you're gonna take it out because, okay, I get what they're trying to say, like statistically, but I still think that was a dumb move, in my opinion. That was not a good move at all.
yeah, it wouldn't have made it. I don't think it would have made it better, but at least you're removing an option that has always been there from the start. There's no reason to remove it. Um,
Yeah.
so I didn't understand that part. I think that was like one of the first missteps that I heard before the game came out that had me worry about the fifth one.
Oh, that 343 life coming in. Like it's making the changes they think it's gonna happen. That will be good, but then it didn't. I'm like, all
But
right, 343, you got a misstep here. Let's see if Infinite will be able to correct their previous mistakes. Let us see.
not to bring Metal Gear so quick in the conversation because I most likely will a lot of the times. But
Anytime, man. Oh, by the way, for everybody, I'm sorry I didn't mention this earlier, but well, you already know from Josh's perspective, he loves Metal Gear. I am a very big fan of the Doom franchises, so I've played that since the very beginning of that as well. With Doom 64 being again that N64 game I played a ton, being the one that as a kid just beat it more times than I can count, along with Banjo Kazooie.
I actually recently played that. I recently
Which
played Doom 64 for the first time.
Oh, what'd you think? What'd you think?
It was good. I was
Dude,
like, man, I
telling
missed
you.
this. It came free. It came free when I pre-ordered Doom Eternal, and I just never played it. And then one weekend, I was just like, you know what? I got this game for free. Let me see how it goes. I love the classic Doom, and
Yeah.
it was good.
I told it, and it gives a more haunting atmosphere because like the first Dooms, you get all the heavy metal references of like
Mm-hmm.
like everything, but in Doom 64 it's 180. It's like more evil, more sinister sounding, and more and
More
all the enemies
haunting.
and everything. Oh my god, so good! Like especially play that game with a set of headphones. You'll be like, if you love the scary stuff, you'll be in horror bliss right there. So good.
But yeah, in terms of
Metal Gear. I'm sorry, I
with
didn't mean to jump into Metal Gear.
no,
my
it's all
bad, my
good.
bad.
We have our loves. Um,
Yeah.
with Metal Gear Solid 2, the biggest I guess controversy on that one was that all the advertisements, even the demo, had you playing as Solid Snake,
Right.
and Kojima just pulls that off of us, and you play maybe 1 hour, 2 hours as Solid Snake, and the rest you play as this new dude, Raiden.
Oh man, Raiden is hit or miss. You either, in my opinion, you either love him or you hate him.
Yeah, and that's what I don't understand is that so many people will say Metal Gear Solid 2 is the best in the series, and that they love that part too. But when we talk about Halo 5, and they're like, "Oh, you didn't get to play as Master Chief," like they really they pulled one on us, and I'm thinking, okay, why is one getting a pass and the other one isn't? Both are legendary IPs. Both are from
Mhm.
legendary, game
Yeah,
series.
in their own right, they are.
So why do you think more people were disappointed that we weren't playing as Master Chief in Halo 5 than they were with not playing as Solid Snake in Metal Gear Solid 2?
I'm not 100% sure on why it has changed. We got to remember there's also a huge time gap between those games. I think Metal Gear came out in 2001, Metal Gear 2. Halo 5 release dates. Let me just okay, 2015. So I wouldn't say like it's just so different like hmm That is a tough question. Yeah, you're right. Why is it? Why is it completely different? Why we hate it? Well, I heard Metal Gear 2. Well, they did call Metal Gear 2 one of the best in regards to gameplay standards, and wow, a lot of people did not like Raiden right away. They didn't.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm still sour on that. I'm still sour on Metal Gear Solid 2. That's why it's not. I get heat from people who love Metal Gear Solid. That I'm like, yeah, Metal Gear Solid 2 isn't even on my top 3. They'd be like, what? How?
Oh man!
See, there you
that's
go.
Just a Hater Nation, dude. Like, relax. Like, it's not even like, because everyone has their own like ability, like their own passions.
Mm-hmm.
But you have your opinion that it's not one of your top 5. Like, dude, I honestly considered the first Metal Gear at least my personal favorite, and then Metal Gear 3 was dang awesome as well. And like you could see that they did that correction in the Metal Gear 3 when that game came out. They made sure you're playing as Snake that whole game. they want to make sure that the majority of your time is Snake. Snake. I'm sorry. That's what Kojima's saying. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna do this again. You're gonna play as Snake the whole time.
But you know what? I did love Revengeance. I love playing as yes. That's where I feel like, okay, now I believe Raiden. That's where his strong suit was, and they just nailed that gameplay perfectly. Don't give me stealth. It's not supposed to be a stealth game. Just show me what I can do and how to kill enemies as different as possible.
Oh, Revengeance! I remember. Like, I was trying to make sure I read that title right. Shouldn't it say Revenge? No, Revengeance. Oh, okay. Like
Kojima naming.
Yeah, Kojima just wants to name what he wants. Kojima does what he wants, and it's exactly. I think because that one you like that one better because it was expected, but oh my god, Raiden had to get beat up and turned into a robot to be liked. He didn't have the he got turned into a cyborg ninja, but no one liked him with his long hair flippy motions that he did. Yes, he did a flip motion when he did the instead of a cartwheel in Metal Gear 2.
He was pretty cool in Metal Gear Solid 4 though. I really loved the sequence with him and Vamp. I think that was just excellent. Yes, I just think that was just so excellent with the what was it, the geckos in the background too. That game was just was my first experience with PS3. The first PS3 game I got, that's the game I got, and I was just astounded. I was like, what? The graphics are just like.
That game is definitely more of a movie than a game.
Yes.
Because I never officially played Metal Gear 4. I've just seen a lot of cutscenes, and I played on demos. But from what I remember, a lot of people were talking about it was definitely a lot of cutscenes on that one. It was a lot of movie in that game. But for me, I'm good with storytelling. I'm fine with that.
So. Where do you put since you're okay? So this is what I love too, because you're a Doom guy. You love Doom and played it from the beginning, and I'm more of Metal Gear. And,
absolutely.
And although they can, I guess, well, so Metal Gear does have gameplay, but really its focus has been also on the story front. For you, where do you land? Do you prefer more gameplay or more story, or what's your balance on your game preference?
So my official balance on game preference. So obviously, if I told you that Doom is my favorite franchise of all time so far, and if anyone has ever played a Doom game or played Doom games, story takes quite a bit of a backseat.
Yeah.
On Doom games. I mean, the most recent one, Doom Eternal and Doom 2016, tried incorporating some newer story elements. They completely revamped everything, changing Doom Guy, which he was originally known, to the Doom Slayer. And they revamped the story in that way. But I loved how Doom Eternal kind of combined stories from the new Doom 64. The Doom 64 that was just re-released includes a lost episode. It includes an extra section that actually combines up to the story of how Doom Guy became the Doomslayer. So that's what I loved. I'm definitely more in the gameplay. I will be 100% honest. I'm definitely up there on the gameplay element more than the story element. But if there is an amazing story element, I'm gonna sit down and listen. I'm not gonna downplay anything story wise. But I'm definitely more into what I can do interactively um, versus just story. Metal Gear is something that I can definitely relate with because everything is so well written in the whole Metal Gear saga. So, as far as story wise, like how they try to keep you in. But I'm very much bigger on gameplay over story. But you cannot have one without the other. That's how I feel about that one too. So just because I say I'm into just or more gameplay, it doesn't mean I don't want just a story. Gaming today definitely needs something to get people hooked on to what you're doing.
Exactly. Well, I'm more of. I mean, it also depends on the game. It'll always depend on the game or the genre. You know, like, um, you know, you really don't go into a fighting game hoping for a good story, for a good narrative. You know,
Right.
it could have that. It could having that is a plus. Being engaged in the characters that you're using is a plus. You know, like I heard the Mortal Kombat 11 had a pretty good story. Injustice 1 and 2 had a good story, and you know that has all gameplay, but it had that story element to it. For me, I've noticed that I've stuck a lot with story. I guess as I got older, I just like being invested in what I'm playing and the characters. So like, you know, The Last of Us is up there for me. The Witcher, Metal Gear will always be there for me in terms of a crazy, almost convoluted story. Like who's that? Why are they doing
Right,
that?
right.
That guy's the first guy, and you know stuff like that. And for me, story has always been a big part ever since Metal Gear One. Ever since I played Metal Gear 1 and I started listening to the actual characters, what they were saying, it wasn't just like, okay, eliminate all enemy bases. You know, it wasn't that. It wasn't like, this is why you're here. This is why we need to eliminate the bases, and this is what's going to happen after the bases are eliminated. It was that context. It was no longer, you know, we're just shooting aliens and that's it. No, this is why we're shooting aliens, because you know, eons ago they came, and every 10,000 years or whatever they come. Like I'm playing Mass Effect, and for the first time,
Nice.
and I'm now on Mass Effect 2 in the middle of it, and I'm loving the story, and I kick myself sometimes thinking like, damn, I didn't play this when they released. What was I doing? But I was obviously playing Metal Gear Solid 4.
You're playing something else. That's what you're doing. It's okay, man. It's never, ever, ever too late to start anything. Never. Games are timeless.
Yeah, that's also one thing I wanted to say too is you can be so late to a game, and enjoy it for what it is. I'm playing Mass Effect, and the only thing that I heard that they've updated was like the leveling system. Of course, the graphics are better and the frame rate is better, but it's essentially the same game, and I'm loving the characters. I'm loving why I'm making the decisions and the ramifications behind it. And I almost lost somebody. I almost lost a squad mate, but because I play a certain way, I made sure that my guy's charisma or his being able to talk to people was already maxed out, that I was able to save him. And that Mass Effect is really calling to me right now. Besides Metal Gear Solid 5, Mass Effect 2 is what I'm currently enjoying, and I'll get to Mass Effect 3. That's my goal, is to finish the trilogy before the end of the year. So I have like 5 more months or 4 more months left.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
That's good, man. You know what? I think we're actually definitely going to be a great combo with a lot of things. You enjoyed the story, the super story aspect of everything, and I'll come in from very big gameplay, casual like story, but more casual and gameplay related. It's we're a nice little mix mash combo here, sir.
Yeah, and I know you're more PC, or at least you dabble more in PC, which
So
is
far, oh
yeah.
man, I love Steam and I love everything. Well, I've been getting more retro action with Steam and PC. But Matt, like when you're just talking about how games are timeless, I know, unfortunately, everyone's gonna be like, "How could you?" But I recently began playing more Super Metroid, something I missed as a kid. I didn't buy it when I was younger, the Super Nintendo. My goodness, what did I miss? I missed one of Samus's best adventures.
Oh my god! So you're playing. So what's your history on Metroid? Like, what games have you played on the Metroid? I guess
I
games.
I actually did not play very many Metroid games in the past. Super Metroid is the one I'm playing right now. But honestly, I watched some videos on YouTube before. A very channel I love named Some Call Me Johnny. He had a whole Metroid
Yes.
review. He had a Metroid review. You watch him too?
Yes.
Oh,
I loved his.
dude, that dude's the man.
So what got me back into Metal Gear Solid real quick, just like was him watching his he did like a playthrough of all the Metal Gear Solid games, and
Oh, the Metal Gear Marathon?
yes, and
Yes.
I was watching it, and he went through the Acid series. I'm like, oh, I have Acid. Yeah, I have the PSP game. And then when he got to Metal Gear Solid 5, I'm like, man, I missed this game. This game, he's on the nose on a lot of stuff, and I just started replaying it because of Some Call Me Johnny. But yeah, good YouTuber.
Hey! Oh, we just found something in common that I didn't know about till today. We both watched the same dude.
There you go.
That dude's a classic. I mean, if he ever hears this in some point, we'll say, "What's up, man? Thank you for your great content."
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, good sir. You're a beautiful human being. Your reviews and everything got me into Metroid, at least the beginning of it.
Okay, so seeing that Super Metroid is really your first Metroid, how do you feel about the advertising, the marketing towards Metroid Dread?
Honestly, I did not. I did not see a lot of Metroid Dread marketing just yet. When I heard when it was first released or when it was announced at Nintendo, I was at first thinking, finally, like an official Metroid game beyond Fusion, because I know there was other M. I know we had the Prime series, which if I'm correct, Prime series is like another universe or another subsection of stories, or if it's in the same continuity, I'm not sure.
It's separated.
It's separated.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're right. Okay, so it's separate from it. So there hasn't been a official other Metroid game besides Fusion. So at first I was thinking again of Some Call Me Johnny's thinking like finally, like that's what I'm thinking. Like it's been a long time because I've seen the Metroid Fair everywhere when I've gone to conventions in the past, pre-pandemic, like when things were open at the time. So, as far as for bringing it back, I cannot think of a better way for Nintendo to please bring back legendary franchises. Bring back the ones that got you there.
Like F-Zero.
Yes, bring F-Zero back. They're
whole
already
list.
Dude, there's a lot like is the last Donkey Kong game, if I'm not correct, Tropical Freeze?
Yeah,
That's the most recent,
which was on Wii U and then ported to Switch. But yeah, that's the last Donkey Kong game we've had.
Nintendo games overall are just priceless in regards to what they create with it. I have hardly ever had a bad Nintendo licensed game, like a really bad one. If I'm saying, I'm pretty sure there are bad ones, but like I haven't had like a bad one that goes like, ugh, don't even want to play it status.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of one more recently, but there's a lot of, I guess, dead franchises, dead IP that Nintendo just, they go back to the same well. As much as I love Zelda and they're Zelda on Switch, there's so many games now on there,
Right?
and I'm one this may be blasphemy, but I don't really care for Mario. I Mario's not the one that I was like, yeah, this is why I love video games. Um, but
What'd you think of the 3D All Stars and the supposedly limited release that they were doing?
I knew it wasn't limited. I knew that thing was not going to be limited, and I think everyone knew that as soon as the end for retail selling was over, that the prices were going to skyrocket, and they did. But like, you can still find them. I think I found them at Best Buy like a month ago for like $50. Like it wasn't. If people who wanted it bought it already. That's
Right?
essentially it. If you really wanted Mario, you bought it already. Like if you see it at the store, it's like
That's true.
it's. I still even see those little what was it, the Game and Watch Mario edition? I still see those at Target. Like they can't get rid of. Yeah, I'll take a picture and post it. But I see those like so many of them. Like it's just, I think Mario is just. I don't know. He's of course the most iconic character for Nintendo, but like I said, they keep going back to the same well, and these franchises like F-Zero, F-Zero wasn't a big seller, but also again, a lot of these franchises that I loved were on the GameCube or before, where Nintendo wasn't really selling a lot of units. I think that's probably why it was rare for us to get finally Metroid, because it's not a huge seller.
Yeah.
But I think because of the Switch being so accessible with so many people, and it's already sold 89. I think it's already finally officially outsold the PS3 and the 360.
Yeah,
but
I read that too.
because there's so many Switch consoles, I think all of the Nintendo franchise IP, they get that boost. They see that boost in sales, and now they're higher up. Like Animal Crossing is a crazy success. I mean, Animal Crossing was always a success, but
Big time.
I think on the 3DS, I could be mistaken, but I think it sold maybe 10 million, which is a good number. That's a good number on the 3DS, 10 million. But
That was the new Leaf one, right?
yeah, but the
Yeah.
Switch, it's like at 30 million or something like that. It's crazy numbers. And I just couldn't
Switch.
believe it. Like my fiance plays it, her sister plays it. Like I speak to some people at work and they're playing. I'm like, I don't play it. It's not my type.
Me neither.
Of game.
Not my cup of tea either. Not that it's bad, but I'm just saying it's not my. It's not. It's like I'm not really gonna play Minecraft either. Like it's not my cup of tea either.
Yeah, but I just feel like Switch is the perfect system now to elevate all these dead franchises. I'm really hoping Metroid Dread sells very well, so that it pushes Nintendo to make Metroid Prime 4, which has been announced like 4 years ago.
How many years?
4 years ago.
How many years? They keep saying it.
To finally release it. Of course, I want it to be released, when it's ready, but at least put more eyes on it. Like, hey, you know what? Let's put Metroid Fusion and what was it, Zero Mission on the Switch. Let's put Metroid Prime Trilogy on the Switch. Like, apparently,
I think they're gonna do that first.
There's rumors that it's already ready. It's all set and go, but they just haven't hit the Switch yet. But
Okay.
I'd greatly prefer a Metroid Prime Trilogy over the Super Mario All Stars. Like I could deal without Mario 64. I'm sorry, but
hey man, that's the one I liked as a kid, man. That was my first N64 game. That was fourth grade is when I got that, and I got that. My dad got that for me from a store called Fedco. So any of the people listening here, just aged myself, but Fedco used to be the store that we used to get it, like in Cerritos. And N64 only came out with 2 games at that time. You got Pilot Wings or you got Mario 64. Which one do you want? Which one do you do?
I remember a specific story growing up. My family, my parents did their best, as all parents do, and they knew how much I loved video games and stuff like that. But I remember specifically, my birthday is in December, early December, and I got my birthday gift and I opened it, and it was an N64, and I was so happy.
Oh, did you scream like that kid in the video?
No.
It's a Nintendo 64!
But I remember specifically because the GameCube was already coming out. This is how late I got the N64, was that the GameCube was already coming out. And I was like, oh my god. And as a kid, I was always happy. Always happy with anything I got. And, And I was like, oh my god, like, where, what's the game? What game do I get? And they're like, maybe Santa will get you a game. And I literally had the N64 for like 3 weeks with no game. With no game.
Sitting there. I want to play something.
I didn't want to take it out. I didn't have a game. And Christmas came and I'm like, oh my god, is it Smash Brothers? Is it Star Fox 64? Is it Ocarina of Time? You did not give me Ocarina of Time. And I opened
so you're lucky. You had options.
Yeah. By then, end of N64. This is like 2000, 2001. And I opened it and it was Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero. And, and I was like...
Yeah. That's the first one you got?
Again, I was always happy and appreciative of everything that I got, but I remember my cousin specifically saying, "Damn." But luckily because
apologies, Sub-Zero.
Yeah. So,
oh, dude, I'm sorry.
So because I got it late, a cousin was already selling all of his stuff, so I think my dad bought he paid him maybe $100 for 8 games. Which at the time N64 games were still expensive, and I of those lot I remember, I think it was only Legend of Zelda, which was like the main game from that lot, but everything else was new. And I remember picking up this cartridge and seeing on the label, it was kind of blue with like a spaceman type of thing, like futuristic. And it was Jet Force Gemini.
Oh, and rareware, baby.
Yeah, I put it in, turned it on, and I was hooked. I was in love with this random game that I have never heard. It was outside of Nintendo usual, and I remember playing it and having so much fun. And that had 4-player split screen, multiplayer. So. That's one of my favorite memories is just getting the N64, this box of games that I only could spot Legend of Zelda, but this random Jet Force Gemini game that I still love. I remember when it came out on Xbox, because it's on Xbox One through the Rare Replay, and that was the first game I wanted. That was the only game I wanted to play when I got that Rare Play, and I felt like a kid. These like we talk about, these games are timeless, and sometimes you play a game and you remember. You may put on Doom 64 recently, and you can remember when you were a kid playing that for the first time, and love sharing these stories, love sharing these childhood memories about certain games that just trigger that nostalgia, trigger that time machine, if you will.
Right, like people like sports, people like other things, people like different hobbies and everything, but gaming was life. That was just the way to go at that time, at that age. I was also very fortunate that my folks were definitely able to feed into the habit, instead of saying like, oh no, you don't like don't play too much or don't do too much. Of course, they did set limitations sometimes, because I needed some.
Of course.
Sometimes I could be on it for a long time. Super Mario RPG for the Super Nintendo was something I've beaten. I have deleted and restarted save files so many times of that game, and it doesn't matter if it was the same thing again and again. Maybe I'll get like a different item or a different maybe I'll do a different order, or maybe I'll try a different team. You can tell the ones that are timeless because you will have save files back and forth over and over again. Banjo-Kazooie was one that I have beaten so many times. I collected everything every time. Beaten everything in GoldenEye from Agent to Double O. Resident Evil 2. I did not have a PlayStation growing up, but I was so excited when Resident Evil 2 was announced for N64. Oh my goodness! Like that was a game, right? Like the I mean, yes, it was crunched. It was definitely crunched compared to the. I mean, it wasn't compared cartridges versus CDs at the time, but they still fit in all the full motion videos and the voice acting into it. So it was like a perfect game still for me at the time. Resident Evil 2 on N64. Again, N64 is the console that I had the most beaten games and the most things. Yes, that weird controller with the stick with the analog stick on the bottom, and you hardly use D-pad is the one I used.
The Trident controller.
The Trident controller, and it worked. Everyone thought it was weird, but you know what? It worked. And then afterwards, it went to Sega Dreamcast was there. I got that one from Fry's Electronics. Rest in peace, Fry's. They're no longer in business. That sucks. So then I got the Dreamcast. Then PS2 was the console I had the most games. That one's the one I collected the most. Unfortunately, that's where the backlog started. That's where backlog started coming in for me. PS2, everything almost came out on PS2. Literally everything.
Yeah.
Like was coming out on PS2. If you got a game, 95% of the time it's gonna come out on PS2.
Even when it was an exclusive to something else.
Resident Evil 4, baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful Joe.
I played that one. I did not own a GameCube, but I got a piece of Resident Evil 4. It came out on the PS2. And I understand why more now that I'm older. Now that we're older, we understand why. When you look back into the history, more people had PS2s. So sometimes Capcom is going to say, we need to make more money off of this. We got to do it. We gave you your exclusive, but at the time, but if we have a chance to release it on another console, we're going to release it into another console.
Yeah. I remember that, but I played Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube first.
But I heard it was a lot better.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know about that. I know my favorite entry or favorite, I guess, iteration of Resident Evil 4 is the Wii version, only because of that motion control. It sounds weird. Too. Yeah, it sounds weird, but being able to just point and shoot is as close as you'll get as mouse and keyboard for a console. And it's crazy that it sounds like that, but Resident Evil 4 on the Wii, I mean, if it had an update, like if the Switch had that, if the Switch was able to use that with the gyro control, I think it would have been up there. I think it would have been my favorite iteration, but still, so far, the Wii has the best entry or version of Resident Evil 4.
That's Resident Evil 4, huh? Okay, all right. I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna try to find a way to play that in some way.
Try it.
Gotta get that. If I can. Well, I'm pretty sure there's. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's plenty of Wii's out there, or is that becoming the rare thing?
No, there's plenty of Wii's out there. The rare one is the Wii U. Now
right?
that one's just hard to get, with everything complete too, because you need that gamepad. But I kept my Wii U. I never sold it. I never traded it. That's still the same Wii U from day one. The same day it came out. I've had that Wii U, but I would highly recommend a Wii U more than a Wii if possible. Just because, like
you can play both, right?
Well, yeah. Not only that, but because of the Virtual Console, and it's also HDMI compatible. right now, why that Wii U is going up in value is because of Metroid. It's basically a Metroid machine. It plays Metroid Prime trilogy, and it also plays Metroid 1 through 4. So, and Zero Mission, I believe. So it just
And
has
Zero Mission.
it has all the Metroid games. So it's basically the Metroid machine.
It's the Metro. It's the Metroid to beat.
Hmm.
Dang, I will, man. I definitely the Wii U. My buddy, a friend of mine, Will, used to have one in his. He used to live. He used to live in Moreno Valley for a little bit when he was working back then in Moreno Valley. He moved to Vegas now, but he had a Wii U just hanging out like in his living room. He just bought the console. He had it, and he had like Mario Kart, and that was like my taste of like the Wii U at the time. But so many Wii U. Like right now, the Wii U game that I'm enjoying, well, thanks to the Switch because they released a Switch version, is the newest Super Mario 3D World.
Okay, I never played that one.
So you never played that one?
Oh, I'm not a Mario guy. I never picked it up.
That's right. That's right. My bad. You're right. You're
No, it's all
right.
good.
Not a. That's right. Well, you know what? Like, as far as like classic Mario's, because again, like classic Mario's is well, we'll call it like classic because it's the classic style. Of course, it's more like it's a 2D and 3D combination, but that's a Wii U game that I got a chance to play because it came out on a Switch version. Which obviously every game on the Wii U is going to come out on the Switch. The only thing is, yeah, I think so. I
hope,
think,
because
I think they will.
there's still some good ones in there. Like, well, at least the port. So I do want Wind Waker HD and Twilight HD. You know, Twilight Princess HD on the Switch. Those would be. Those are the two main ones.
Did you get Skyward Sword?
Yes.
Did you like it? Do you like it on the Switch?
I'm really loving it. I didn't like it at first on the Wii. Maybe because it was already an outdated console, but really it was the weird coming off from me saying Resident Evil 4 was the best because of motion, but Zelda Skyward Sword was not really my cup of tea for that motion. I feel like it did not work with the the swings of the sword and stuff like that. I really had an issue with it. So playing it on the Switch, they still kind of fixed it a bit, depending on where you move the analog stick is how you swing your sword. But I think it's all the quality of life that they made on this game. I'm really enjoying Skyward Sword finally, and it's really good. I think I just finished like the third temple or third dungeon, whatever you want to call it, on this one. So I think I'm like about halfway through it.
There you go.
So I'm really loving this one. As a huge Zelda fan too, this one's really good.
There you go. I mean, it's going to be very, very, very hard to top Ocarina of Time in any capacity. But that's also our N64 greatness at that time. But actually, my personal preference and my favorite Zelda game is still like either it's a great opinion or not a great opinion, but I still love Majora's Mask till the end of time.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's so like.
I could respect that one. That one.
Yes.
That one was a really good, different, in terms of how they made the structure of the gameplay of Zelda. But I feel like that one also is up there.
Yes, Majora's Mask needs to be on like a top echelon of Zelda games. Its story itself, or the amount of side story they can do. You could make this game end in a short amount of time, or you can expand it till whenever you want, until you collect everything. And that is the beauty of choice. Is amazing in games.
That's how I felt about Wind Waker.
Yes, Wind Waker. You can. Oh wait, excuse me. Wind Waker. I did not play yet.
No.
No, I did not.
That even more so to get a Wii U instead, because that has a better version of Wind Waker.
Yeah, I did hear the sailing is considerably better in
Yeah,
that one.
it's just faster, way faster than before. But yeah, that Wind
Yeah.
Waker, growing up, that was my favorite for the longest time. Even playing Ocarina of Time is timeless. As again that
Mhm.
we speak about games being timeless, but for me
Yep.
growing up, Wind Waker, it was that, I guess, the graphics, the art style was so timeless for me. Even at that point, I remember my uncle was
Mhm.
like, "Oh, you want Wind Waker? That game?" I'm like, "Yes, look at how the bomb looks when it blows up. It's all the smoke effect and stuff like that." And it did have gameplay changes. You're able to get the enemy sword, enemy weapon, and use it against them. That type of stuff. It had a parry system, kind of, where, if
In
you
Wind Waker.
in Wind Waker, if
Nice.
an enemy attacked and you used the action button at the right time, he would do like a somersault, or he would do like a Dark Souls roll, and just come around the backside of the enemy and swing his sword, and it was amazing. And a lot of people don't see that, or oversee that gameplay aspect of Wind Waker, and they just see, oh, you're just sailing like 90% of the time. But a lot of the games, you know you can just focus on one point and make it a negative. But
Of course.
with Wind Waker, it was, yeah, you're sailing, but you're going to all these islands that you don't know what you're gonna find the first time around. You might find a whirlpool with a huge, kraken type enemy that you have to defeat, and all you have is a little, you know dinky boat with the little cannon, shooting the eyes and stuff like that. So Wind Waker for the longest time was my favorite Zelda, at least on the console part, home console, until Breath of the Wild came around. Breath of the Wild was
Ooh, Breath
Breath.
of the Wild came in. Uh, Other Josh definitely let me know about that one, and he always kept scolding me for not having Breath of the Wild when I got a Switch for the longest time. He's like, "Did you get it yet? Did you get it yet?" Like every week, and it was like, "No, not yet. No, not yet." And then, but I eventually did get it. But oh my goodness, coming from the original Zelda to Breath of the Wild was two different worlds.
Yeah,
It was a complete change in that. Haven't gotten super far in it yet, but not discrediting the game because I haven't gotten too far, but it is different. So it definitely incorporates a lot of I would say like today's aspects of gaming.
what do you mean?
Like it incorporates a lot of like mining and get collecting resources and doing it incorporates a lot of RPG elements now into it,
Okay, I get.
like
Yeah.
weapon wise. Yeah, like um it incorporates a lot of areas like in when I meant like today's games, because there's a lot of like resource games, like there's like Terraria, there's Minecraft and crafting and um like building or like collecting. Um, a lot of times they don't want games to be too simple. Let's just say,
Yeah, they
like
need they
it's got
need it's more than just one hook. They gotta get you in multiple aspects, to
yeah,
keep
they
you playing.
do. That's something that a lot of the people, I'm saying like kids of today, as were like ancient or old or something, but definitely gaming's definitely different then versus today. It's evolved a lot.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's no, even within the time span of like 10 years. 10 years ago, 2011, we were in a different space. We were the best games that came out in 2011 was what, Skyrim and Skyward Sword. For certain people, and even 10, if you go 10 years more back, 2001. We were getting like Metal Gear Solid 2. We were getting
Ooh, Halo
uh,
baby at that time.
Halo. We were
Hmm.
getting. I think Majora's Mask also came out in 2001, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 2000. But I know it was
I think I
late.
think I think I think Majora's Mask was 2000. I
Yeah.
believe
So
it was 2000.
just those 10-year gaps, everything
Yeah.
changes, and we'll see where we're at 10 years from now. 10 years from
Right?
today, where are we gonna be at? Are we gonna be at on Switch 2, or
Hmm.
Where's the
Wow.
PS5? I mean, the PS5 in 10 years will be, you know,
10 years?
not
You think a
obsolete, but
PS6 will be it? You think a PS6 will be announced by then?
yeah,
I don't. I can't even tell what gaming, like gaming cycles have changed. Like I remember the 360 and the PS3 lasted a long time before the PS4 or Xbox One at One X were even thought of.
yeah, it was 7, 8 years,
That was a long time. We could
almost a
think,
decade.
right? Like and that generation, man, I loved my 360 a lot. Gears of War what got me a 360. The
Gears
first Gears of War.
Gears of War was the first game that I said, at least in that generation, where I was like, that's next gen. I
Right?
remember seeing a specific level from my when I went over to my friend's house, and it was raining. It was like it was dark, raining. It was one of the sections that they go into one of the plants, I think,
Huh.
and I was like, "What is this?" And I got the controller, and I
Yeah, yeah.
looked down. I looked down, and I saw the puddles, and I saw the water droplets hitting, and I'm like, "What is this? This is crazy." And the next month, I picked up a 360, got Gears of War. I got
Uh,
I got Halo 3, and I was like, this is it. This is where I'm gonna be playing. And then that moved on to Left 4 Dead. I got into Left 4 Dead, crazy into Left 4 Dead, and then Left 4 Dead 2 came around like in 2008, 2009, and
uh,
I think Left 4 Dead 2 was the reason why I got Xbox Live. It wasn't Halo 3. It wasn't Gears of War. It was Left
Left
4
4
Dead.
Dead.
Because all the other ones,
That
I still had that mindset. I still had like I'll just go over your house to play. That's cool. It's just gonna be
yeah.
us two. We can play, and my friend was like, dude, you gotta get Xbox Live. You have to get it. And so got it, and it was a done deal. I've had it since then because of Left 4 Dead 2. Left 4 Dead 2, playing online with my buddy and other people online, and just going through it. It was great.
There we go, man. Left 4 Dead was an amazing franchise. Still is. Like people are still playing Left 4 Dead 2 on PC. They always keep putting it on sale and they keep putting it up. Left 4 Dead 2 is still on the tops there. I mean, if Left 4 Dead 3 were to get come out or anything, um, I think it would be just as big. Well, I don't know. Right now, the zombie genre is kind of getting like there's Evil Within, and there's a lot of other zombie games now that people can pick up on. Um, but man, you just mentioned how Skyrim came out in 2011. Dude, how many times has that game been released and re-released and redone over and over again?
It's on everything.
Yes,
It's
I know.
even the Switch. Even
It's
on
gonna
the
it's
Switch, it's on the Switch.
I'm gonna play it on my like that meme says. I'm gonna play it on my TI-83 calculator. Like I'll play Skyrim on my calculator for goodness sakes. Like I literally just googled right now the whole 2011 chart. Yeah, like a lot of these games that we talked about earlier, like the revamped Mortal Kombat and everything, 2011, 10 years ago. That's that was 10 years. Modern Warfare 3 came out 10 years ago.
Portal 2.
Uh, Portal 2 came out 10 years ago. Uncharted 3 came out 10 years ago. So
Dark
much
Souls.
10 year Terraria popped in 10 years ago. Dead Island. You know which trailer is really the most interesting trailer?
Dead
See if
Island.
you
That Dead
Dead
Island
Island,
trailer.
the Dead Island trailer with the guy, he starts off his day like he's about to do cardio. It's like Miami or something,
Oh
and
yeah.
he's stretching and he's doing everything, and then he's running, and then he's oblivious to the world around him that's getting eaten by zombies, and like he's oblivious. But then, I mean, you could totally say like, "Whoa, Jesse, you're like completely wrong here," but I don't believe that a game ever came out.
No, that game.
It never came out, right?
No, it's still, I guess, in development limbo.
What? That's so long ago.
Okay, well, that's the first episode. That's
Oh
Josh.
man.
This is McQuack. This is Jesse. This is what we're all about. This is just a snippet of what we want to bring to everyone. Just casual talking, memories, current events, current games, future games, what we're excited about, what we want to talk about. Each episode will be different. It won't have a structure. This is going to be a structure, really. It's more of just an afternoon, or at least our afternoon, talking about games and what we're excited about. Jesse, you want to say anything? Any closing comments? Anything?
Closing comments right now. I would just like to say that I enjoyed my entire time being here, guys, and I hope that all the listeners will have fun listening to us talk about our gaming memories, what we love about it, and what's to see about it, what we want to see about it. Josh, I hope you had a blast too. We all had a blast doing this with everybody, and this was a great chance to speak out about gaming opinions, guys, and we'd like to hear all of your opinions as well through Twitter or through Twitter right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we look forward to doing some more of these very soon.
What's your handle again? And what are you playing right now?
So as of right now, so my Twitter handle is Jesse.Fregoso or Jesse period Fregoso. Excuse me, Jesse underscore Fregoso. Sorry, I'm getting my own Twitter handle messed up. Jesse underscore Fregoso. It's literally just my name there. And right now, I'm not gonna lie, I usually always dabble in a lot of different games. I have a hard time focusing on something that I'm going to complete, but I'm going to work on something for everyone because I just love doing that. I am actually wanting to beat I'm actually going to beat Doom 2016, but this time on PC because I've never played it on PC. I've only played it on consoles.
Okay.
So I'm going to complete Doom 2016 on Ultraviolent and then eventually get the Nightmare difficulty.
Get that Nightmare.
Yeah. Oh, the Nightmare. The Nightmare is rough, but I definitely have a backlog myself, unfortunately, but it's okay. Backlogs are fine. Actually, after I complete Doom, I'm actually going to complete the game from a gamer of mine that I've also loved, the Angry Video Game Nerd Deluxe 1 and 2 collection, which that game is a blast. If anyone was thinking about it or just something to want to check out, that is a blast. But I'm gonna defeat Doom 2016 on I'm gonna beat Doom 2016 on my PC because my mouse and keyboard setup is so sweet.
Okay. And my name's Josh again. You can find me on Twitter at McQuack306. Currently playing through Metal Gear Solid 5 again, through side ops and anything extra that I need to get, with a recent title that I picked up on the Switch, which is called Blue Fire. It's like a mixture of Zelda.
Blue Fire.
Yeah, it's a like Zelda mixed with some Dark Souls elements and Metroidvania, Hollow Knight type of gameplay. It's really interesting. I played about an hour and a half of it, 2 hours last night, and
Nice.
really enjoying it. So that's on PlayStation and Switch. I don't know if it's on Xbox, but I'm pretty sure it's on PC as well. So that's what I'm currently playing. And thank you for joining, everyone. Thank you for listening. If you made it this far, we greatly appreciate it. We're going to try to do this.
Greatly appreciated.
We're going to try to make this into like a weekly thing. Not sure yet on the schedule, but we're trying to maybe post this by Sunday, every Sunday. So, to get a schedule, a rhythm going. But again, I speak for, I think, me and Jesse that we appreciate every listener, and thank you for joining us. And leave us any comments, anything you guys feel like we should, change up or do better, or whatever you guys, any valid criticism is welcomed.
Yes. Awesome. Say whatever you speak your mind on what everything's going on, guys, because we enjoyed doing this. And again, I'm just gonna correct my name at Jesse JESSIE _ Fragoso FRAGOSO.
All right. Well, that was the first episode of Boss Key Podcast, and we're out. Bye.
Peace.